You know, some of you will say that the ban list is fake. Some of you will go post many bad things on social media to make yourself feel better about the list. Others of you will cry sweet nothings on the internet saying, I wish it's November, I'm sick of Trickster Reincarnation. And the rest of us are going to step up. And by stepping up, I've done my part in gathering what I think is the best choices in the metagame. So, hope you guys are ready for a discussion video. Okay? So, we can have a nice little chat about the rest of September's metagame. And this is probably going to be the most diverse thing I've ever seen until a clear deck comes out. If I was playing in a regional and I needed my invite right now, I'd really be crying. Because we would not be prepared for this. So guys, watch the video. Got it, Pink Robbie said so. I'm more savage than Red Robbie. Yeah. Get ready. Here we go. Hello, it's me. Alright, you guys wanted a metagame update discussion for the ban list for September 2017 for what is left of this month before Circuit Breakers. This is probably, well, this is the most diverse format hypothetically you will ever have to deal with or see in the game of Yugioh. First off, I want to say that there are at least 11 competitive decks, at least 5 of which are variants of Draco. Yeah, about 4 to 5 Draco versions. First off, we'll talk about some Rogue in between some of these. I don't know how to rank them yet. I feel like some of these are going to be better than others, but I feel like they're all going to see some level of play. And I feel like you should probably know what they are. So, the first big boy in the room is Spiral's pre-Circuit Breaker. Now, I didn't actually think about this until my friend came over the other night and we were playtesting. Quick fix with machine dupe with if you're practicing the Ancient Gear stuff, you don't need double helix. The fact that that deck has so much combo ability and utility wire for your recursion, your general dump ability, last resort sleeper is probably sleeper in general. If you don't have an answer to sleeper, you're gonna have a really bad time. And it really sucks to say that because I've discounted them for so long, but decks have gained so much momentum now that Zoo is dead, that as soon as we get double helix, that's the icing on the cake. The deck has a very consistent engine going for it, something that a lot of decks wish they had, but as an overall consistent toolbox, Spirals have it. And if you were going to play against that one guy that knows what the hell they're doing, you might have some trouble. So be aware that Spirals are very much still a deck. Number 2, coming Friday. And this is something for those of you playing the UDS and playing in the ARG. Miss Starboy comes out, which means Paleo becomes a little bit scarier of a threat. And Paleo's not necessarily what it used to be, but you need to be aware that Miss Starboy is a card. You need to understand that Paleo will still do what Paleo does. Making Totally Awesome is their game. Having 2 negations and a play outside of 2 negations is my game. Right? That's what I liked about Zoo Draco. That it could do. It had more than 2 lines of play. Typically turn, Barrage, a Tribute Summon, and your normal summon. Typically got you there. And now, if you're dealing with Totally Awesome as a conceptual theory, in the format, you need to be aware that you're going to have to play around that because of Miss Starboy. I'm not quite sure how consistent it'll be, but it's a very real threat as well. Just when you're sitting there playing the game and you're like, oh no, set 5 pass, what is he playing? It's probably Paleo. Next up, Number 3, this is projected to be the best deck at the moment with no hands down argument, and it is Pendulum Magician. Now, here's the thing with Pendulum Magician. Mirror matches of any Pendulum mechanic are going to be absolutely horrendous because of Wavering Eyes. The fact that if you get into a Wavering Eyes fight, you're going to lose because their Wavering Eyes, if it resolves and destroys 4, it'll just tutor for another copy of Wavering Eyes. You don't want that. Your opponent wants that. You're going to have a bad time. The deck is very consistent. The plays are there. It is literally the fallback plan that I think everyone is having at the moment. The deck is very diversified. Duelist Alliances have gone up for a reason. I've watched the deck play the last few hours. The deck is overall consistent, which is something that people, they look to. The plays that the deck makes, let's be real, the Pendulum Graph, it's the only real reason why the deck's good. You know, being able to kill one of yours to kill 2 of theirs, it's actually very stupid. But I've seen it backfire because of Draco. And it's a weird thing to say, but if you can out the stupid trap card, you'll be in for a good time. Alright, so the next one we need to talk about on that same corridor is going to be our first Draco variant, which is going to be Invoke Draco. Now, I know what you're thinking, but why? Metapho combination is a continuous trap card that you contribute, go search for some stuff, summon Masterpiece. Being able to drop Masterpiece is very good. Now, you can throw Cosmo into that mix in Play Diagram, Cosmo, Metapho. I'm not really feeling that right now. I know, look at me. I know that some of you have looked into that possibility, and I'll be real, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Look at me. Come on. Come on. Look at me. It's not necessarily a bad deck. However, I think, as of making this video, that Pendulum Magician and Invoke Draco are probably going to be the 2 best for this point in time. Now, I could be wrong. Just thinking about the consistency that Metapho has, yeah, you can only Pendulum some. Sure, you can make that argument. The Pendulum Magician deck is slightly better, but Masterpiece is very much a power card. And the one thing that Pendulum Magician can do is roll out our good friend BLs, and we won't be able to do anything. But that'll be for another time. The next Draco variant is actually going to be Invoke Draco. You guys should pretty much know how that one goes. We've seen Alistair and friends. You know, Alistair didn't get touched on the English ban list. It's literally just going to be Macabre Turbo. You know, you'll roll out Masterpieces along with things like that. You get access to Spellbook of Knowledge, Blue Boy, pretty much the same thing as the next variant I'm going to talk about, which is Wind Witch Draco. Invoke Draco and Wind Witch Draco, they're basically the exact same thing. And when I say that, Wind Witch strives to make Crystal Wing, and Invoked wants to make continuous fusion summonable monsters to rely on beating the opponent's outs, Macabre, for example, and things like that. And I think that people need to be fully aware that this is a good concept, but how consistent does your one boss monster get outed? Do you have a reasonable backup plan once that said boss? Now, the thing with Wind Witch Draco, which is weaker, is you don't have the recursion that the Invoke Draco engine does. Both decks will brick horribly. One of the more interesting things about this format is the brickability it's very high. But I'm definitely putting those 2 decks on the same side of the coin, just because same shit, different day. Next up, actually, I lied. Hold up. I forgot about Trick Stars. Alright. If you think that getting... We need some water for this one. if at some stage in the day you think that Draw and Lockbird and Trickster Reincarnation are incredibly healthy for the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And for some reason you completely support this deck, then you're probably playing Trickstars. Reality of the situation. No one wants to play against Trickstars. Not even Trickstar players want to play against Trickstars. Reincarnation is not fucking fair. Cadenia, normal summon, search. You guys think that Licorice Disturbance strategy Dawn 1000 is going to be fun? I've got some really bad news for you guys as you are playing the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You're not going to want to sit here and enjoy this deck. And it's a sad situation that Trickstars, they get outed by Masterpiece. That's why I think the Draco engines being splashed so much will probably do something, but there's that. Next up on the list is Lightsworn, 60 cards / Minerva Turbo in Shiranui. Zombie Engine Pure is a deck that a lot of people, I think, they'll go to. Same thing with Lightsworn. People charges at 3. You know what that means? There are not going to be a lot of fun scenarios that people are going to want to play the game with. The fact that Charge and Lumina are at 3 definitely gives a lot more combo ability. Same thing with Shiranui. The Zombie Engine, it only gets more powerful from this point. And the fact that you can add it into the Lightsworn mix, you can either play pure Lightsworn, probably won't work because Honest is at 3. Let's be real. Backwards to Trickstars here, you know. Honest is at 3. Anyway, pure Lightsworn, the hybrid 60 cards, or Shiranui Zombie. All 3 versions. Be aware of them. Next up, the last one on the tier 1 list is ABC. You know, if it wasn't for the link mechanic, we would have a not a very work-safe format. The fact that I can still go Decode Talker into Dragon Buster is not going to be fun. And the amount of people that are going to misplay and not split their Dragon Buster on the standby phase and the opponent's holding a Kaiju, you're going to have a lot of regrets. You're not going to have a fun time in this format. You need to be aware that how ABCs function, you need to be aware of what they're doing, you need to probably play some outs to Dragon Buster. Ghost Reaper is probably going to be your most consistent way to do so. I mean, cherries. If you cherry the Dragon Buster, then that's the sound of you clapping for yourself because you're emotionally sad like me. You guys know, I'm so sad because my Buster got cherried and I wasn't happy. You know, ABC is going to be your typical cheap default deck at the moment, which, I mean, it is what it is. Alright, now I need to talk about... Oh, but Rob, you didn't really go in depth with the decks. You guys need to be aware of these things. There's not a lot to really talk about because all these decks we just mentioned they're powerful. The things that they do, they're on that scale level for a reason. Now, there are some decks that I don't think are going to be meta that people are going to attempt to play. World Chalice. Alright, let's be real. Emeril just went away. What you gonna do now? You ain't gonna abuse them shine bells, I tell you what. I'm so glad I don't want to have to deal with Firewall spam the deck. I think the fact that Emeril went away took away the abusiveness that was World Chalice, and I think that if you're going to go down that pipeline, you need to be aware that you're not going to have it's literally the dream deck, and I don't think that that's where you want to be putting your eggs at the moment. It's okay to have the core, it's okay to play it for fun, but I don't, just because Rabbit went to 3 doesn't mean it's going to help the deck any, because Emeril's gone. The next fun deck that people are playing right now is Dino Rabbit. Alright, look everybody, Listogasm is gone. Danglong is gone. Miscellaneous source 1 to 1. Putting 3 Rescue Rabbits and 3 Megalomasher / Sabersaurus and Lost Worlds into your deck is not going to make the deck any better than it already was. Alright, like, it's like comparing apples to oranges. Whatever apple orange hybrid you're trying to make, it's only going to work in some research lab somewhere that they've DNA spliced. Alright, stop this. Just put it down, walk away. It'll be okay in another life. Okay? I've watched so much Dino being played on Dueling Book, and it's just Pendulum Magician's just tearing it apart. The next pipeline dream, because of our good friend Rabbit being back, is Evil Swarm. Look at me. Come on. Much like the rest of you, I wish that Evil Swarm, Exciton Knight, whatever you wish to call him, I wish he was a 1. I wish I could play Evil Swarm. Rabbit to 3 is a pipe dream. Alright? It doesn't make the bad decks come back. You know, we need to calm down. We need to take a breather. And just because we all want to play Evil Swarm doesn't mean the deck's good. The only deck that we had a chance against was Dino. And Dino's somewhere in a ditch right now crying. Alright? Because they come and took his baby. Alright? They came and took Listogasm. The deck is not good. As much as I want it to be. Like, the next broken pipe dream of this format is Zoo. Oh, I was like, I thought Zoo was going to be good. I was like, you know, we can play a stun version of Zoo, 3 Throwblade, 3 Barrage. We don't need Dryden, we don't need Broad Bull. Won a Japanese tournament once. Let's test it. Mere Forces are good. And then you play against Spirals, and then your opponent's just like, Quick Fix F, Machine Dupe F, Quick Fix Chainlink 1, Quick Fix Chainlink 2. Summon Super Agent, kill your back row. It's literally just make Super Monster attack your opponent directly, the deck. We all want it to be good. It's time to put it down. Next pipe dream, Mermails. Yeah, Miss Starboy. He's here. Congratulations. Your deck, if you're going to make Bahamut Shark, you can special summon that, totally awesome. But for how much dedication does the Mermail deck have to put in to resolve a Starboy and then a Bahamut Shark? I ask you that very same question. The OTK power that the deck will always be a consistent tier 2 to tier 2.5. It will never be tier 3 because if it shows up in an event and it's in its OTK factor, you know, the deck can get there, but it still has consistency issues. You know, someone was talking about, Robbie, should they put Dragoons to 3? No, because the deck would be too consistent then. By leaving Dragoons where it is, the deck has a lifespan on it, and it's very good. You know, I don't want to be playing against it. Next up is Blue Eyes White Dragon. My friend went to the regional last week in Columbus before everything got nerfed, and he lost to a Goliath with double Return of the Dragon Lords. I feel like if you're entering into a tournament with that being your plan, you got some broken pipe dreams. Now, I'm not ragging on Blue Eyes players. I wish you the absolute best in your ventures. I don't find that I want to summon Sage with Eyes of Blue and get Ash Blossomed and just have my turn end. You know, that's the problem I have with Blue Eyes, is your follow-up plays aren't very strong. You're often reliant on Soul Charge for the key extended to your plays, or you're reliant on Return of the Dragon Lords. And that's not the kind of level and dedication that I want to put into my tournament deck. Going, I need to draw these cards to win. I mean, if I'm already kind of doing that with Draco, but there's just a power level difference that's apparent. It's sad to say that because I do like Blue Eyes. I like Alternative. I like what it did for the deck. But at this point in time, you're trying to be mermails. And mermails are doing a better job at being mermails than blue eyes are trying to be mermails. Next up, the next pipe dream, Burning Abyss. Dante is dead. We need to understand this as a family. Burning Abyss won't come back until we get this supposed lake monster. And, you know, I go to these events. I see Burning Abyss paired with Lightsworn and Shiranui, just for your general dump ability and just the combos that you can pull off with it, which, you know, the deck can do well. By any stretch of the imagination, that's full-heartedly fine. But if you're playing that with the intention to top, you might be able to pull off a 6-2 or a 5-3 with the deck, depending on if your opponent doesn't know what you're doing, or if you have some super stun strategy and you open up the most optimal back row in the world and your Dante's float perfectly. You know, Whiptail's not an obstructive card now that you have to worry about, unless for some reason you're playing Zoo in the first 2 rounds of the event with Dryden and Rumble and Rat Pier at 1. I mean, kudos to you if that happens. The last broken pipe dream I want to talk about here is Dark Lords. Now, Dark Lords are like mermails, but 25% more brick. And the thing that Dark Lords have access to right now is Christia, much like Lightsworn has access to Christia, but no one's going to put those apples and oranges together. Here's the thing, though. Depending on how consistent you can resolve your strategy, as long as you don't brick, you might have a pipe dream. And when I say pipe dream, I mean, like, you might be able to get there. You gotta believe in your apples and oranges, all right? Of all of the quote-unquote reject decks, I find that, honestly, Dark Lords are gonna be, yeah, on this list, Dark Lords are gonna be the most brickiest thing on here. But if you can roll into a tournament we'll use locals as an example. If you can consistently beat, let's flip over and look at our metagame. Alright, well, Dark Lords can only lose to Trickstar if their God Hand gets reincarnationed. Pretty true. We could probably beat Lightsworn. We're definitely not beating ABC unless we drop Christia turn 1. Same thing with Paleo. I mean, Kadini is going to kind of mess us up a little bit. I don't think we're beating Pendulum Magicians because BLs is just kind of a good card. But we can resolve a Big Eye, I think. I think I saw a Big Eye once in Dark Lord deck. I could be wrong. If you resolve a Big Eye playing Dark Lords and take a BLs, then you're probably a god at Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think you're beating Draco. I don't think you're beating Invoke Draco. You're definitely not, I don't think, beating a Crystal Wing if you're playing Dark Lords. Pipe dreams, they do exist. Congratulations to Spiral for moving up the ladder, though. So guys, is my metagame discussion correct? Am I wrong? Is this all just another reality? Are we all stuck in a video game called Sword Art Online? Nah, bro, it was better when it was called Dahak. You new generation, you're, oh my god, Sword Art's the best. They've never done it. It was called Dahak, alright? Best thing ever. All 20-some novels, 7 video games, 5 animes, and they're redoing it. So that's all I've got for this video. Guys, leave a comment down below. Uncle Robbie is not the smartest tool in the shed. Today is Pink Robbie. Yeah, I'm gonna need your help if I missed anything. I believe I got everything. I sat here and I watched Dueling Book for hours, trying to see that I wouldn't miss anything. And you know what? I could have, but that's for another time. So, guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and deuces, my audience. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.